Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Hope y'all are having a great week so far. .commie, hey, how you doing? Lamantic, thanks so much for the follow. I just saw that at the sound pop across, but thanks for jumping in. Feel free to say hi in chat or keep on lurking if you want to lurk. That is totally fine. Hey James, how are you? Good to see you as well. .commie James, glad y'all are here today. It's Thursday. I'm excited. I actually have the day off tomorrow, so this is the end of my week. I'm spending the last couple hours of my week hanging out with y'all, which should be good fun. And I have many fun things planned for today. Y'all are gonna love it. We're gonna do show and tell like we have been doing lately. I actually do have some things to show and to talk about. We are going to spend about half an hour or so messing with the NVidia Jetson Nano, which is the single board computer for edge machine learning that I think I shared that last week. I don't know. Oh, James, cool. You have a long weekend as well, trying to decide on a project. Ooh, what are you trying to decide between? Maybe we can help you. We can help you decide. I love weekend projects. These are fun. So we're going to mess with the Jetson Nano a little bit. I want to time box it. I don't want to get deep in the weeds, but I already have the SD card loaded up with the image, so hopefully we should be able to get in, run some demos, and do some things. And then want to keep on going on the wall of things. So we did some fun stuff last time, and we're going to do some more stuff today. And I even have a new feature that's related to a workshop I'm working on that I want to add just for fun, where you all can on demand make me take my pulse so that I make sure that I'm not getting too overexcited during the stream. Don't want to get my heart racing too much. So that should be fun. And what is this? Consider ways to sync up the what? Hi Joe, thanks for the chat. Thanks for coming in as always. With your favorite Twitch emote. Oh yeah. Sync up the breathe animation. Okay, so here's my show and tell. First show and tell. Super excited about this. I don't know if y'all saw on the blogs earlier this week, but Particle Workbench, Particle's tool for doing firmware development in Visual Studio Code has been released. It is officially GA. Generally available. I am super excited about this. You can get the full download here at Particle Workbench. If you're not, this is the product that I'm using for all my firmware projects. So if you've been watching this stream at all, you have seen me. I've been using Particle Workbench for a while, but it is officially and formally released. You can get it from the Visual Studio Marketplace if you already have VS Code. You can install it via the extension sidebar, right? You just search on. Yeah, definitely, James. Update. There's some good stuff in there, in addition to some new versions of the device OS firmware. So, Particle Workbench here, available to install now. So that was my first show and tell item. One of my teammates wrote a great blog post about it. So if you head over to blog.particle.io, there's a bit of an overview. I noticed he just posted it on Dev2 as well, which is cool. Cross-posted it over there. So, yeah, definitely. All right, so James, let's see. Not sure yet. Thinking of making a server for my IoT plant to send data to, but not sure whether to stick with a Laravel server or build something in Node with Vue, or just play with more hardware. Isn't this one of the things, though, that I absolutely love about this whole maker thing, this IoT thing, is that we get to play with everything. You're building hardware, you're building websites, you're building mobile apps. Like, that's absolutely one of my favorites. I love that. It's a good problem to have. Be like, well, should I work with something I'm familiar with? Should I mess with Node and Vue? I've been wanting to work with those. Or just like go heads down and work on hardware. I don't think you can go wrong, James. Other than, I would say maybe my response would be do all of those things, right? You don't need to sleep. 4-day weekends are not for rest and recovery. They're for sleep deprivation on the things you want to do. I'm just kidding. Rest. Give yourself some time to hang. But I love that. I love those ideas. My weekend is going to be spent tomorrow. I'm going to be working on finishing a fire pit in my backyard. Basically just laying stones. This is what I do on my days off. The work days, I end up spending a lot of time working on like projects around the house that otherwise don't ever get done. And then I try to mix in some fun. So there were some couple Nintendo Switch games that released this week, like Cuphead. So I'll be playing Cuphead this weekend. Probably play Zelda with the kids. I want to actually do some Python programming with the boys. I've been doing some machine learning stuff with Python. I want to teach them Python as well. I'm all over the place. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Grogard. Hello. I'm falling behind. Grogard, good to see you. Thanks for the hype. James, I really need to sleep. My neighbors have been keeping me up. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And working on improving my sleep habits. So I have as well, James. I actually just switched back to the Apple Watch, the latest version, after like, I've been a Fitbit person for years and years. And I switched back to the Apple Watch because I was really impressed with the changes that the latest generation hardware, and I found some pretty good sleep tracking apps like Auto Sleep and Auto Wake for like not only helping track your sleep at night, but also to wake you up in a light part of the sleep phase, so you end up not being groggy in the morning. And I've been trying to do the same thing. It's been good. I've been getting better, but then I have terrible nights. Like last night, I think according to the app, I got 5.5 hours of sleep. It was ridiculous. So I'm with you, James. Hey, David. Yeah, stream it. Stream Cuphead. Well, that's another piece of the show and tell. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, James, Python ML. So I've been doing a bunch of different things on the Python side to learn the deep learning and machine learning pieces of it. Part of it has been going through courses. Like there's a book, Grokking Deep Learning, which I've been reading. And then Udacity has a course on deep learning with TensorFlow, because a lot of these single board computers that I'm playing with use TensorFlow. And so I want to learn TensorFlow simultaneously as well. But there's some great resources out there for sure. And using, I've never known how to pronounce that, O-U-R-A, Oura Ring. And it's amazing for tracking, but it can also be a little scary. I need to visualize this because I feel like I've seen this. And Joe, Relax Melodies on iPhone is where it's at for falling asleep. That's a good idea. I also thought about Headspace. Like, it took me like 2 hours to fall asleep last night, which is not usually the case for me. I'm usually super tired by like 9 o'clock. I ended up getting back up and reading for another hour and a half, which is probably not the right thing to do. I should have just done Headspace, done like a Headspace sleep meditation. All right. Show me the, oh, it's this thing. Really? Aura, is it Aura? Okay. Slide on the ring, transform your life. It's like the One Ring. Is it your precious, James? This is pretty cool. I have to look into said like Aura. That makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna save that. We'll come back and take a look at that later. That's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, so that's one. That is one of my show and tell items, was Workbench and just chatting with y'all. I need to like add some chat time into my timeline because now I'm already 10 minutes in. That's okay. Doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother y'all. I'm gonna go switch over to my desk here. No, that's not that. I'm gonna switch over to the big, no, not that. The big desk camera here real quick. Let's turn sideways. That's okay. Because I want to show y'all something. I have, oh nice. Way to fail, green screen. Hold on. Oh, yep. Sorry, I just had to close a hole in the universe. Just real quick. I have this little package here that showed up. I met these folks in Raleigh, North Carolina recently. The name of the company is FaceDoc. And they make some really, really cool stuff. I'm going to open this and I'm going to read. Let's see. Supposed to be the most accurate consumer level sleep tracker, backed by some sleep specialists like Matthew Walker. Speaking of which, highly recommend his book, Why Sleep Matters. Oh, James, yeah, I'll check that out too. Thank you. David Grogard saying hi to each other. Love it. Okay. So, oh, this thing looks so good. So, this is called the FaceDoc. I want to like see if I can hold it kind of off to the side here. But so this folks that created this product, they actually sent me one of these that they actually laser engraved the particle logo on, which I'm loving, super excited about. But the idea behind this thing is that they wanted to create sort of a portable, like a portable dock for you to put your electronics projects on. So there's some headers they include, and there are these little things called slides that they create, that they 3D print, that you can put. You'll see this is feather, like particle feather, Pi 0, a 2x3. There's a Raspberry Pi 2.3 on here as well. And you basically just put these devices on top, and then you have a completely self-contained little project board that you could take with you. So if I'm working on, like for instance, this Jetson Nano stuff I'm working on, or the machine learning stuff, I could put my Pi style board here, put my particle argons and feather boards right here. Yeah, so it's really neat. So FaceDoc, this is called the Workbench V105. I'm really excited to use this. This is going to keep on showing up on the stream. And it comes with like a display lid, which is pretty awesome. I'm very excited about what the FaceDoc folks are doing. I'll pop the I'll pop the link back up. Let me go actually back over to my. Hey Clay, how's it going? And is it your? Oh no, I just got. I try not to destroy everything in my office. Feather, is that like the giant board? It might be. The giant board is something that I hope wink wink I can actually have on the stream at some point in the near future, Grogard. But yes, those slides would fit the giant board as well, which is really cool. So let me find out FaceDoc's website. Yeah, facedoc.com. They're an early stage startup. So there's a lot, like I said, they're based in Raleigh, North Carolina. They do all of their, they're doing all of their forming right now. They create, they're 3D printing all their own stuff. So they haven't really gotten into like mass production yet, but they have some really cool stuff. And this product is called the Workbench. The 1007, I think, is the one that they sent me. But yeah, this is a really cool product. So highly recommend checking them out. And if you're part of a makerspace or hackerspace, or I think this is like the perfect kind of thing for makerspaces. So I'm really jazzed about what they sent me. Like I said, we will feature it heavily. We'll feature it heavily. Now, the final thing for show and tell. And this will factor into moving into the next phase here, but sorry. So check this out, y'all. I added the set. Oh, all right. I should be back now. You lost audio. But apparently that's the way to wake up chat, is for my audio to go dark. Hey, everybody. Hey, F. Pacheros, Babin, appreciate y'all letting me know. Fix it in production. Yeah, I should be back now. I'm gonna go back where I was. Give me 1 second while I add audio in. Okay, 1 moment. Okay, now you should have my mic. So let me know if y'all can hear me. I knew I forgot something in this whole stupid business. And you should have some, and now you should have. Yes, we're back. Okay, so let me go back and repeat what I said for the 2 minutes that y'all couldn't hear me while you saw this Windows desktop behind me. This is the silent room. I get speechless when I have to use Windows. How about that? I'm just kidding. Windows is great. Windows has come a long way. So I had a capture card, which means that we can now actually do multi-OS projects. And so the capture card is actually hooked up to a KVM switch, which, not that this is practically tech or anything like that, which means that we can do fun things like switching over to the SNES Classic that I let myself buy. That means we can, it's Thursday. I have to celebrate this day today by saying, hey, you know what? You all know what today is? Today is actually Cuphead Day. Today is the day that Cuphead was released on the Nintendo Switch. So we can sit here and we can play
And
Cuphead.
if they proceed, but
never mind any of this science and technology business. Let's play Cuphead. Right? For the next hour and 15 minutes.
Will take their hands.
You want to do that? I know y'all don't, but that's okay. And then the last thing, the reason why I'm sharing this for show and tell today is because we're actually going to use this capture card to go through the NVidia. Cooper, Clay, you kind of want to see the gameplay on that? Okay. I will stream Cuphead at a different time. I really plan to. I want to very much because I haven't even played it yet. It came out today. I loaded it up and I resisted because I have a job to do most days. I resisted doing anything with it. So the capture card, there are 4 ports on this KVM switch, and the 4th port is actually a general purpose HDMI that I'm going to use for single board computers. Epicheros, I have heard this game is insanely hard. I'm afraid. I'm honestly afraid. Do you remember? Epicheros, I don't know if this is, if you played Mega Man, like the original Mega Man, but I remember as a kid playing Mega Man, the first one, and hating it, but not being able to stop. Like I couldn't stop. Like I would die so many times in Mega Man, and so I've heard that Cuphead is like Mega Man all over again, but even harder in many ways. And it does look amazing. I mean, the thing that drew me in was the art, right? This artwork. And okay, I'm going back to it real quick. But the artwork is the thing that, oh crud, here we go. Do I want to? I can't. I shouldn't. No, because it's going to show. I want to save this. I can't let myself do it. Y'all almost got me. Not this time. Okay. Babin. But this is supposed to be a science and technology stream. I really, really want to, but I want to do it at a later time when those of y'all that actually are here for the content, for actual like tech stuff you don't have to watch me die a million times at Cuphead. Do the thing. Yeah, Babin, I appreciate you trying to enable me. I appreciate you a great deal in that regard. Okay. So let's get the Jetson Nano going. I think I have, let me add in the video capture for the desk webcam so that we can actually, I'll bring this up here, make it kind of smaller. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was just last week, and I've already forgotten. Let me transform, rotate 90 degrees. You're gonna do that to me again. So last week I shared briefly this new single board computer that I got. Yes, James, here's the Jetson Nano. So this is the box that it came in. This thing is a beast. It is much larger than any of the other single board computers that are a little bit closer to the Raspberry Pi style or size of form factor. This thing is definitely a large computer, and it has the tallest heatsink that I've ever seen on a single board computer. It's a ridiculously tall heatsink. I can't believe it. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and if everything works, then we should start seeing some things stream up or appear on the screen. Maybe. If I did everything correctly. I have the monitor though. There we go. Ooh, NVidia. So what's different about this about the Nano from the Google Coral, which we did a walkthrough several weeks ago now at this point, and I got to plug in a keyboard and mouse too. So lots of cables. Two things that I really should do ahead of time, but I don't. Wait, why did it die? What did I do? Did I pull a cable? Oh no. Okay, stop touching stuff, Brandon. Was there an error that popped up that I didn't see? Oh, it's cratering. All right. How about instead of plugging stuff in willy-nilly, don't seem to be able to get it. Oh, you can't get it in the UK? That really stinks. That's not cool. All right, so this is the getting started guide. So let's go back through this real quick so that I can, and let me turn off the wall of things camera, since we're not doing that right now. Yeah, Pacheros, I didn't see anything either that second time. So hey, Osarian, thanks so much for popping in chat and for asking the question. It's good to see you. Happy Thursday to you. What are your recommendations in order to start programming? I'm currently in a master's degree in a double major chemistry physics, planning on working in material science and analytical chemistry. Whoa, that's awesome. First off, Osarian, you're awesome, and best of luck to you with your master's degree in double major in chemistry and physics. I think that is so stinking cool, and I wish you all the best. In terms of recommendations to start programming, if you're doing material science, and honestly, a lot of the sciences, I feel like Python is becoming a really, really popular choice, not just in the data science world, but in just general. And I don't know about in chemistry, but it would make sense. And part of the reason for that is because of the prevalence of browser-based tools for Python interpretation. Like the one that I was using for some of the machine learning stuff is actually called Colab. I'm trying to remember what y'all in chat help me out. What's the most popular sort of browser-based like notebook, Python-style notebook tool? And I cannot for the life of me remember right now. And yeah, James, yeah, Python might work. And then, yeah, Pacheros is absolutely right. I mean, failing that, it's never a bad idea to learn Jupyter Notebooks. Thank you. But it's Jupyter with a Y. A Y in there somewhere, but I can't remember where. Jupyter Notebooks are the other one. If somebody can track down and find a link to that, that would be great. And the one that I've been using for some of the machine learning stuff has been Colab? Is it Colab? Yeah, Colab. So Microsoft actually has a similar style. Who knows? Knowing not Microsoft, Google. Yeah, I always forget where the Y is. The Y instead of the I. Okay. Yeah, that should be the one. Another one is Colab at colab.research.google.com. So this is actually one that I was working through the other day. And all of these are executable. Python executable in the browser, which is really powerful. JavaScript is a good choice as well, as Efachero said, because it has the same advantages. They redirect and have 2 URLs. Is that for... Yeah. I know. I know. It's pretty funny. But Asarian, either of those, and frankly, if you have the time and capacity, I would learn both. Because learning your first programming language is harder than just adding the second one. And once you add that second one, it's really a matter of syntactical differences. You're learning some of the same structures, but learning differences in syntax. It's easier to add that second, third, fourth language. And with the magic of the internet, it's nothing is ever more than a search away. So what is this telling me? Oh, you need... Okay, so this may actually be my issue. I may be using a crap power supply. So let me actually plug it back in and double check my power supply. Wireless networking adapter. Thank you so much, Osarian. Yeah, wishing you good luck and all the best as well. Definitely. I appreciate that. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday evening, getting ready to go into Friday. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna BRB real quick. Okay, maybe. I think I did a boneheaded thing, which is why it didn't work before. Drat! Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry, let me get out of the way. I mean, it's just usual bootloader stuff. All right, so we fixed the power problem. It's gonna do this. The no signal is coming from the capture card. I'm assuming it's just gonna do this every time that I... There we go. So I don't know if I said this earlier. Let me turn off the audio on this. Okay, on the capture. Okay. I don't know if I said this earlier, but one of the big differences between the Google Coral board, which is, there is no SD card needed. The image is already loaded. That it has its own sort of Ubuntu-based operating system that it ships as well. So part of the process of actually getting this thing installed is you have to write an image to the SD card. So, Jackin617, hey, happy Thursday. Thanks for asking the question. I appreciate it. Yeah, is this thing similar to a Raspberry Pi? So, the Jetson Nano is similar to the Pi in the sense that it is a single board computer. that runs a Linux-based, apparently, it looks like a sort of an NVIDIA-based fork or distribution of Ubuntu. But it is beefier. It is meant to be, let me see if I can, oh, come on. It is a higher powered machine in the sense that it's actually designed to run machine learning, machine vision types of applications actually on this device. So you load up a trained model and it'll execute it there. The Pi can do that kind of stuff. It just tends to be very, much slower by comparison. So I'm going to accept the terms. English. English. Yeah, Jekin617, thanks for asking the question. I appreciate it. A couple of weeks ago, there's a different board that I shared on the stream that you can look in the archives for. Jekin6 is the Google Coral board with sort of the edge TensorFlow processing units, another similar board that's sort of that's designed to kind of do the same thing. So let's just call this Jetson. Pick a username, Jetson. Pick a password. Nope. Now I ain't gonna see my password. All right. James, so those projects we spoke. See, this is what happens. You spend any time on Twitch. I do. This happens to me all the time. Now you want to learn TensorFlow stuff this weekend. It has been. You should see my Pocket list, my Pocket saved articles list. It's just this. It's a mountain of TensorFlow stuff that I can't read fast enough. Jekin617, do people use it because they don't want to run their main computer overnight? No, the primary reason why people would use a single board computer like the Jetson Nano or like the Google Coral is because you're trying to do machine learning on the edge, like in IoT applications without backhauling sensor data to the cloud, right? So one of the limitations of machine learning today, because it tends to be so data intensive, is that if you want to do it in constrained environments, like on a factory floor, you need to, you're backhauling data, you're having to wait. There's a delay, and also it's a more insecure model, more expensive model, etc. DJO Cavix, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in as well. Feel free to say hi in chat. Or keep on lurking if you prefer. We're definitely happy to have you here. Feel free to ask questions, make comments, anything like that. We're just having fun with IoT, with tinkering. Right now I'm actually taking a look at the Jetson Nano board for edge machine learning, or edge deep learning processing. So Jekin6, so one of the things that these edge compute boards give you is not the ability to train models. So you still have to train deep learning models in a cloud-based solution like with TensorFlow or like on your own sort of desktop computer. But then the execution of those models, sort of the prediction piece of it, can happen on these devices, on these actual boards. And so I want to see what demos actually get run. And we may be waiting on this for a while, unfortunately. I want to see what demos actually get run with this. But when I did the Google Coral board a couple of weeks ago, one of the demos was actually an object detection demo, and it's really, really fast just running on that device, as opposed to if I were to send object data, like an image, up to the cloud, wait for a response, and bring it back down. So in edge, what it basically means is the edge is sort of the boundary between your microcontrollers in an IoT network, so your smaller devices like particle argons and photons and things like that, and your cloud systems and your backend systems. So edge is the boundary between those. That's where there's been more and more attention on building applications or building systems that can run with a little bit more power in a constrained environment. And frankly, there's some work actually running TensorFlow on microcontrollers as well. So particle devices, I think there's a fork of TensorFlow that you can run on smaller microcontrollers. You don't always have to have single board computers for it. This is looking like it may actually take a while. Let me go back to the instructions here. So I wrote the image to the card, and hopefully, Jack and Sick, that answers your question. So, oh, I didn't follow the instructions. Remember how, I don't know if y'all were here a couple of weeks ago, Jack and Sick, I'm not sure that I follow what is ROS? Oh, are you saying like you have to use like a real-time operating system? Is that what you're saying? Or are you meaning ROS something else? So that's the point of this little thing, is actually to put it on that, oh, you didn't see it. And put it on the box is meant to be like the pretty stand. And good job NVIDIA marketing, because it still has the nice branding on it as well. Oh, robot operating system. I am not, I've heard of the robot operating system, but I am not familiar with it. I do know that one of the Jetson Nano's early projects is a, here, I'm trying to move the camera. Sorry. Come on. That's a little bit slightly better. One of their projects actually is building like a little rover robot for machine vision. I don't know if that uses the robot operating system or not. That's a good question. But in the case of the Google Coral, like the Google Coral board, and I'll go ahead and pull it up because it's worth resharing the link. The Google Coral Dev Board is a cool alternative here, and this actually adheres a little bit more closely to the Google Coral board adheres a little bit more closely to the Raspberry Pi form factor, so it's a little bit smaller. But it is an edge compute module as well, and this just runs a very, very small version of the operating system that can run trained TensorFlow models. It can do some training as well, but it takes a lot longer than if you trained on a desktop or in a cloud environment. So yeah, all right. So I figured out what the box is for finally. First boot, create a username, log in. After logging in, you'll see this screen. I have yet to see that screen. So here's what I'm going to do. As much as I don't like sort of fragmenting the stream, we are already 30 minutes in, and I do want to move over to the wall of things again. So out of the corner of my eye, I have the monitor for, so you can see this is what's still capture card. I don't know if it's frozen or what. It's waiting for something. So we're going to let it keep on waiting, and we're going to move over to the wall of things and move back over to this. And talk about, and I'll come back. As soon as the Nano is ready for us to move to the next steps, we can jump into it. And if it's not on the stream today, that's all right. Check-in 617, have you worked with using least squares on nonlinear models? No, I haven't. And those words are frankly only vaguely familiar to me because I'm still very, very new at this entire machine learning, deep learning thing. Most of my background is either on web development or doing hardware and embedded work directly on microcontrollers. So this the machine learning stuff at the edge is new to me. This is an excuse for me to learn it, definitely. But I love the question because you just gave me something else that I need to learn. I'm gonna make a note here on my notes. So if y'all are new to the stream, one of the things that I like to do is sort of track what we work on. Animation. Working with least squares on non-linear models. Thanks. I'm gonna check in 617. I appreciate the question. So you've given me something to do some research on and figure out. So thank you very much. All right. So on the wall of things, and for those of you that maybe are joining this stream for the first time, one of the things that we're doing on the embedded side is actually building a chatbot that can interact with these LED strips that are on the wall behind me. So for instance, the commands that it accepts things like chase, and then a color. This is the fun one that always seems to break after it runs the first time. It accepts those, it takes those colors and it actually will trigger a chase animation on the LED strips that goes across. Another thing that you can do is that you can set rainbow mode, which does a different style animation. And what's happening is that there is the Cyan Panda bot is another one of my accounts. It's a chat bot that is listening for chat commands. It is a node-based application, and it is basically sending commands to these devices on the wall behind me, which are all particle devices, particle xenons that are connected to a single mesh network via a particle argon, which is a Wi-Fi device that is on my desk that's actually connected to my home network. So anytime you run one of those commands, what's actually happening in the bot itself is that it's actually doing something like calling a function. In this case, this is calling a function called setColors, etc. So Joe, the other command that you can do is you can actually do chase color and give me and do a named color. So if you want to do that command, and then here, let me do this. Joe, do something like chase and then pass in the color green. So pound chase and then green, and we'll see if it works. That was my mistake. I told you the wrong command. So take out dash color and green. Beta test this for me. Okay. There you go. Let's see if it works. Cool. All right. Yeah. So there you go. So you can see over my shoulder that Joe has changed the color. So it's now actually using green to chase from one color to the next, which is pretty sweet. So all of that works. There is another command called breathe. That will actually change this into, assuming I don't get a timeout here. One of the issues that we've had on streams for the last couple of weeks is that sometimes these commands get in a wonky state and start to time out. Thanks, Babbitt. Yeah, I love it when it works, but I think we're about to get a promise exception timeout on that last one, which is usually an indication that I need to restart the device. Yeah, there we go. Okay, the name of the song that's playing on Pretzel is now If I Were a Jedi, That Would Be Hella Awesome. I agree, it probably would be hella awesome to be a Jedi. Let me restart the device and I'll run that other command again. Jack and Sick, that's a great question. How do you connect the particle boards to the computer? So they are not directly connected to my computer. So they are powered, and the Argon is a Wi-Fi device. So it's actually connected to the cloud via Wi-Fi. And then it has a local mesh network that's isolated from my home Wi-Fi that allows the devices to communicate with one another. And Clay is exactly right. They use Wi-Fi or cell to connect to the cloud. And then there are a set of APIs that can actually be used to communicate with the individual devices. So when I call this particle.call function, that's actually calling a device cloud API set colors. And that is brokering that connection to my end device. So, hey, Frackberg, hello. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Thursday. Thanks for coming in. Hope you've had a good rest of the day. I've had kind of an insane week. I haven't been able to be on as many other streams, which has kind of been bumming me out. But Jack and Sick, hopefully that makes sense. If you want more info about sort of the basics of how the devices work, you can actually go over to, I'll just type it here, docs.particle.io. And there's some good resources there sort of covering an overview of how devices communicate, how you get them online. But the key secret sauce there is either Wi-Fi or cellular to connect to the cloud. So let me move over to BreatheMo again. Excuse me. Seems like every time I do a major mode change, that's when the autofocus thing pops in. And I tried to look at that last night. It's not happening. So breathe mode was something we looked at last time. And we also took a look at, in firmware, we added a different mode that I don't have in the bot yet, but my favorite, and I do believe that that Frackberg was horrified when we got this working, because I started pretending like I was Tom Hanks in Castaway. Fire mode. So fire mode, basically looks like this. Busy day, won't be able to hang out long, but always like to enjoy the stream while I can. Oh, thanks, Frackberg. Yeah, I appreciate it. I know the busyness. I've been heads down working on workshop stuff for the last week or so, which is partly why I haven't been able to be in a lot of other streams, but I appreciate you jumping in at all. All right, so this is fire mode. What I wanted to do here was actually have this mode trigger, and that's what I wanted to do today. Let me go back to my list. I reviewed what we did last time. I want to detect cheers, follows, and subs and trigger this. Sorry, Clay, you suggested disco mode. I decided to go with fire mode because I was looking through samples and it just looks so good. I just had to, because it looks so good. So that's one of the things I want to do in the bot today. And oh, Clay, come on, come back. Don't. You know what? Clay, I will add a disco mode for you. If this will keep you around, I'll add a Clay command in the future. And trigger disco mode on the lights. Fire mode on the right side to go the other way. I know, Frackberg. It's going the wrong direction. And that is on my list. Fire mode is pretty cool. Yeah, all right. But I promise you, we'll add the Clay command. And then and I'll let you, Clay, I will let you pick the mode. I'll let you actually, I'll send you the link to the stuff I've been looking at, and I will let you be the one to pick what actually goes on. Which one we're going to use for that. Oh, the RGB, the NeoPixel strips are like one of my absolute favorite things. They're so great. They're so much fun to work with. And who doesn't love blinky lights? All right, so when it comes to, so the next piece I want to work with is actually detecting cheers. But in order to make that happen, I want to tweak the bot a little bit to actually check the current mode, because what we're going to do is we're going to have the bot, anytime someone follows the channel, subs, cheers, I think that's it for now. No, the Jetson just came back online, but we're going to wait a minute. It did finally work. That just took a long time. Anytime we get any of those things, I want to play this, but I only want to play it for like 5 seconds or so, maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and then move back to the previous animation. So ultimately what we're going to want to do is when the bot starts up, I'm going to check the current animation or check the current mode, and then we will we'll have that saved. So we'll run fire for 5 seconds and then re-trigger the other animation. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I didn't explain it very well, but we'll do it live, as C# Fritz loves to say, and we will learn it together. So what's going to happen is in my onConnected handler, this is where I'm actually going to do this. So today what I'm doing is I'm getting the strip mode variable, and I'm setting it in a few different places. So Jenkins617, hey, thanks for coming at all. I appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully you are able to pop back later. Hopefully, if not, a future stream. But thanks for your questions so much. I really, really appreciate it when people come in and ask questions. And thanks for teaching me something, asking me a question that I need to go find the answer to. So I appreciate you. Hope you have a good rest of the day. So I want to save this, basically. I want my strip mode to be, I want this to be more of a, this needs to be a global variable that's actually in state for the Node app and not something that's local, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here, and we're going to add a function. I do think it will need to be a function, yeah. This will be check strip mode. And I'm gonna have to, I need to remember to update this anytime I change it in the bot, right? So I have to keep that, I gotta keep that in mind. But for now, this is what I'm gonna do. Const strip mode, await, and then I'm gonna have a LED strip mode, and we're gonna call this just, what is it? Where'd I go? Strip mode body result. Yeah. So this will actually allow us to clean some things up and minimize some calls. We won't be doing as many API calls every single time a command comes in to try to do something like chase or something like that, which will be good. Set the global strip mode variable. And we're going to define this up top, and its value is going to be 0. It's the default value. So now on connected, where's my on connected function? I'll see it, okay. Wait. Okay. Just get that, see if it works for starters. And then I'm going to console log it out. So if it's a value other than 0, So we'll do console log. Excuse me. Current LED strip mode. It's LED strip mode. That looks legit. Let's find out. Probably isn't. Where's my error? Yeah. Well, I need to call the function async. Always. I love async await, and I always forget to use it properly. Okay, current LED strip mode is 7. So we have that set. That was easy. Well, whatever. Comments are for later, right? So I've set that. So now I think what I can do is actually clean up a few places where I am actually calling that. There's set mode. So triggering LED mode, I actually want this to set, I want this to change the mode for me. So this is going to be LED strip mode. That's one thing I got to check. That'll be the mode value that gets passed in. So that'll set that properly when I move from one thing to the next. Right, so to test this, here, let me do, what am I on now? Fire. If I change to breathe, that's mode number 6. So when I shut down the bot and restart it, it's 6, okay. Hey Chensu, how are you? Howdy, howdy, hope you're having a good Thursday. Saying hello from the future with that emote, I presume. So any place where I'm doing a set mode, I think those are the only places where I'm doing a set mode elsewhere, right? Set the strip mode right there. Checking the strip mode, and I think there was another place where I'm actually trying to find it. Okay, right here. So I can remove this, or change this to LED strip mode. And remove this. So that's one less API call I gotta make, which is great. Anytime you call chase color, I already know. Okay, right, and here I want to do LED strip mode equals 0. Oh, good, I'm glad. I'm glad you're fine. Hopefully you've had a good week. I have, it's been fun here. Oh yeah, that's different. Busy this week, but fun. LED strip mode. So anytime that I am, okay, I think that covers our use cases. So I can remove those two calls. Oh wait, I need to do it here because there's a set mode, LED strip mode. Excuse me. Anytime I'm checking that if, I think I need to make sure that I can set it if I need to. Chase color. Okay. So the current mode is 6, that's breathe mode. If I change that now to chase Rebecca Purple. Is that right? Is it spelled right? No. Rebecca, purple. Is that right color? Correct? Yeah. Okay. That doesn't look like Rebecca purple. Oh wait, yeah, it does. Well, it looks weird on the camera to me sometimes. Not like I made it attune the color settings on this webcam. A tiny bit washed out. I'm going to take a little bio break real quick. So just for 1 minute, y'all are welcome to try the bot. See if you can crash it for me. Quick bio break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, sweet. So we got some stuff working. Fragberg, there is no fire command. I'm not going to add a fire command because I want it to be a... I want fire mode to only be triggered by doing something like subbing or cheering or following the channel. But I see rainbow worked. Chase with a color. That's cool, James. And Chen, so you have to pass in, and I need to actually do like a helper command. Need to add like a... Need to add a Wattbot helper command. Something like that, so that we can sort of know how to do the various things. But the way that it typically works is that you would type in chase or chase color and set the color. So now that we've got that, detecting cheers. No, what did I do? Check the current mode on connect. That's the one that I want to check in now. Check current mode on bot load. Check. closes number 19. Can move that one. So now that we have that, we got the secret sauce to detect cheers, follows, subs, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go back to the TMI.js docs. TMI.js is the JavaScript library I'm using to connect to the Twitch messaging service. And the events that I want to pay attention here are, hosting would be another one, or hosted. I'm going to add hosted to that as well. Hosts. And we can add some variation to this later. I just want to get it working now in this mode. And then sort of see what happens. So cheering, hosted, sub, subscription, sub, follow. Look, it is actually not a follow event. Is that just a join event? It's not the join event is just getting into the channel, right? I'll have to look into that. But let's start with, for now, let's just cheer, right? So client on cheer. And then I'll do I have some bits, so I'll cheer myself to test this. So where are my on commands here? I think those are up at the top. Subscribe to events for bot interaction. So we're gonna do cheer on channel user state message is what we're gonna do it. We'll call this just on cheer handler. And we'll add that around the other ones. And I clean all this stuff up. All right, async function on cheer handler. Console log. Cheer from. Just gonna test. User state is the user object, so we know from the user object. Oh, user state bits. Cool. Okay. Page not found. What? I do believe that it is cheer of, let's see, user state. Bits. From user state. What did I do? What am I doing? Names. Let me look this up elsewhere here. Username. I call this context above, so let's just keep it consistent here. And then when we get this message eventually, I shared the NeoPixel or the LED panel the other day on Tuesday's stream. The panel that I want to mount at the top over here, the RGB LED panel, is that I'll take the message and scroll the message on the screen at the top when cheers come in. That'll be something to do soon. That'll be kind of fun. And then maybe sanitize it for mean things and profanity and whatnot. We're gonna have to do something to handle that. But hey, we can maybe use some machine learning for that. Why not? All right, so received a cheer. And then while we're at it, I'll do... Let's say thanks for the cheer of... Okay. And then we'll do the channel emote, the cyan trash panda. So I'm going to try just running that real quick before I do anything else. Make sure it's all working, and I will cheer myself one bit. Can I do that? All right, hold on. I'm going to do it from a different chat window. Cannot cheer in your own channel. I just want to test. Son of a gun. All right, hold on. There's gonna be a way around this. Ah, thank you, James. And you found an error for me, so I appreciate it. Unhandled promise reduction. Oh no, I got it. Here's the message. Hold on, it popped up. There was the promise stuff is different. Received a cheer of 1. James, thank you, James. Thank you for testing. I'm gonna try to minimize the number of times I ask you to do that. I'm wondering why client.say didn't work. Target is not defined. Oh, is it? I guess elsewhere I'm using address port, handle error, target. It does. Yeah, no, please do stick with the ones. Yeah, I only need 1 to test, so it's no problem at all. I appreciate it. Like I said, I was kind of hoping I could just cheer my own chat just to try it, but nope, I guess not. And I can mock this, you know, I mean, I can use call this, fake call it, mock it out, whatever. But the thing that I want to make sure of is I know what the objects actually look like. So this is the channel name. Well, maybe that's all I need. So let me go look at channel chat, on chat. Target, okay. So there's another thing that I was doing is not doing, this just should be target. If I do like target context message. I've never cheered before. Is there a coin slot I dump a pile of quarters into or something? Yeah, Clay, there's like a little like cheer UI. If you click on the little diamond thing in the chat UI, I think they give you like 100 bits when you sign up or something like that, and you can cheer with that from there. But yeah, basically, yeah. Let me restart this. Who said I take you seriously? Just because I have a serious look on my face. I don't know. Oh, I need to stop giving you the benefit of the doubt, huh? That's pretty funny. Okay, so that should work now. This will actually make a response. But what I want to do here is actually trigger. So hold on to your bits. So I'm going to trigger fire mode for 10 seconds. Why not, right? So what we're going to do is, what did I call this here? Trigger LED mode. Yeah. Where am I calling this? Oh, come on. There we go. So this is ultimately what I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to wait. Right? We're going to do a timeout. So trigger LED mode, target context, 7. Just call it fire. And then we're going to do a set timeout. Well, I haven't done a set timeout in JavaScript in forever. See if the snippet works. Set timeout. And my timeout is going to be 10,000 milliseconds. This is still milliseconds, right? Is the API for this? It is milliseconds. I was worried for a second I was in embedded for so long that I've forgotten that it's like seconds in JavaScript, right? And then so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the, how do I want to do this? No, I guess I'll just actually do await trigger LED mode again, right? Because we would just do the same thing that we did before. Target, context, and it's going to be LED strip mode is our value. This is going to be the tricky part, because there's some logging in that function that I may want to take out, but that's okay. I think we'll try this for now. I'm going to reset the bot. Wait, what just happened there? When is async? Where am I? 2:15. Oh. Async. Decorate all the things with async. My current strip mode is not 0. It's 5. Oh, that may be a firmware bug though. So James, I don't think that showed up as a proper cheer. That's all right. I don't know if you had a shorthand that I wasn't aware of. Okay, I see the cheer. I see that we received the cheer. And I'm about to get another error. I don't know what it is. I'm just waiting for these promises. What? All right, hold on. This is an error in TMI.js, really? But you know, the trigger in the LED mode didn't work either. Target contexts. And it looks like it did try to fire it twice, which are why there were 2 promise rejections. So that one, so the first one was a TMI.js issue. The second one was on trigger LED mode at 298, which was called by 205. Oh, handle error. Yeah. And my clients say. Maybe the cheer handler doesn't actually have. I mean, it's the exact same thing. When I get a client on chat, where is this? This is the on message handler. Target, which is just the channel name, the user state object, the message received, and then a boolean, which is just if the bot sends its own messages. So given that, cheering should work the exact same way. Channel name, which the docs are kind of inconsistent on this. Target. All right, Jensu, thanks for coming and hanging out. I hope that you sleep well and have a good night, and you have a great Friday and a great weekend. Appreciate you coming in. TMI.js cheer example. Oh, why not? Let's see what's in there, docs. No, that's not it. What does this show me? Introducing cheering. Oh, this is just the, okay. So we know the context object is working. We're getting the number of bits. We're getting the username. That's popping across correctly. So this message is logging in the console, but everything else is getting borked. So what's trigger? Okay, so let me see. Maybe we've got an issue in trigger LED mode that I'm not thinking of. Set mode. Well, see, this would have caught, if there's an error here. Well, what did handle error try to do? Handle error actually had an issue. Huh. I'm gonna just leave this one in here and we'll see. We'll run this again. James, I feel bad asking you to cheer again to test this, but if you're willing, it might be able to get something interesting. This might be one of those I need to do some research on my own because I'm a fire starter. And I, of course, appreciate it, as always. And this is not even triggering fire modes. Okay, here we go. I mean, maybe the issue is actually with my... Oh, it's a timeout on the device side. I know. It's only singles. Okay, all right. Here, one second, James. I feel good that this will actually work now. This side of it. Just give me 1 second. Don't try again just yet. Okay. Can you try? Can you try one more? Oh, just killed the bot. Dang it. Twisted fire starter. That was my fault. James, I killed the bot. I owe you 1 bit back. If this fails, I think one way or another, I'm going to abandon this and move on to another idea because this is something I need to work on off stream when I'm not asking people to throw bits for testing. But one more. One more, James. One more. There we go. Woo! All right, James. Awesome stuff. Love it, love it, love it. You triggered foo mode. All right, and then I reset it. Did the reset actually work? Okay, I think we know what we want now. Heck yeah is right. I'm excited about that. That works, and so the same thing should work for all of the other. Sweet, that's exciting. But did I? It looks like my timeout didn't fire. So I'm gonna work on that one offline. Console log. I'm going to say reverting to previous mode. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change this here. And when trigger LED mode... Hey, Thomas Bra, thanks for asking the question, and thanks for commenting. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out on a Thursday, taking some time out of your Thursday afternoon, and hope you're having a great day. We are actually working on a chatbot. So the chatbot controls the lights here on my wall. So right now... So right now what you can do is, oh yes, of course. Failed by my own bot. So I just passed in a chase command that will actually cause the lights to go around the wall and chase each other like they're doing right now. And this is all connected to the chatbot and then to these particle photons, the particle xenons wired to a mesh network that's mounted up on my wall. So that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on here today. So what I was just working on, and James in chat was helping me out a ton, was auto-detecting cheers. And then when cheers come along, it will turn it in, it will change the mode to fire mode for 10 seconds. So what I was just gonna do here is, I'm gonna check if name. And I won't do client. I won't actually say this unless the name gets passed in. There we go. So the name won't be needed otherwise. Should be good. More fire. Let's see if it works. Is it gonna work again? What happened? What happened? I may have broke something. All right, hold on. James, give me one more minute. We're gonna test this one more time. And I feel confident that's gonna work, but give me, I broke it. It wasn't you, I broke it. I keep breaking it all the time. Because that was actually on my list today. I was gonna upgrade the firmware on this Wi-Fi device because I think I can get some more reliable connectivity out of it. All right, I'm gonna restart the bot. Fingers crossed. Current LED strip mode is not correct. So hold on a second. Well, that's okay. Let's try it anyway. So James, if you want to throw a bit up, this is the last one. Regardless of what happens, this is the last one. There we go. Now we are cooking with fire. And reverting to previous mode. I don't know what it's going to do with that. That part may actually time out. But we got the fire. We got the fire. I need to like at you. But that's pretty sweet. It looks like the reverting piece isn't working, but that's okay. I can fix that later. Yes. That's exciting. Cool. So now that I have this sort of built in, I'm going to do a little bit more testing on the reverting to the previous modes and whatnot. Let's move on to something else. We can actually move back to the NVidia Jetson Nano. So let me check this in, and we'll spend the last 20 minutes or so playing around with that. So let's see, get status. And what does this one relate to? Which item here? Oh yes. Added cheer detection on. Yeah, the Jetson finally came back online. So I wanted to wrap up the stream by actually jumping in there and looking at that. To bot. It's not closes 8 because I still have to do more here, but I just want to reference the commit to number 8. That's pretty sweet. All right, so let me jump back over here to my Jetson Nano, and you'll see now it's restarted. So this is the lock screen. This is basically just an version. This is just Ubuntu 18.04. That's what gets not pre-installed, but that's what's ultimately loaded on this thing. And I know, and I apologize for bouncing around, but this is basically what, you know, sort of the first boot experience looks like. It took a while for it to get here, to get to this point, but this looks like just sort of your vanilla Ubuntu installation. There's a couple of what's new screens. I'll do that later. Help. You're ready to go. Okay, cool. You can use software to install apps like these. Strawberry Music Player, Open Siobhan Action, Chromium, and Calculate. So, I mean, this is just an Ubuntu installation that has NVIDIA's skin on it. Surely they did more, right? There's got to be like other stuff in here. And so there is, so I'm going to go back over to my computer because there actually are some steps. But there's stuff in the first boot after logging in. Find your way around. I'm back at the docs on my other computer right now. Because I thought there actually was some stuff on the... Okay, now it's trying to open up. I'm gonna come over here. Because I am browsing around the docs and now I'm in a PDF. I don't want to read a PDF right now. I swear when I was reading this the other day that there were actually a couple of things that you could do. Maybe it's this Hello AI World project. No, that's not what I want to do. Like I was looking at, and I want to watch a webinar. Docs are hard, I know. I know they are. Purchase the Jetson Developer Kit. Read the user guide. That's a PDF again? Getting started. This is where I already was, right? This is where I already was. So I've done this. I've got the Nano set up. I've got it on power. I have put the SD card. I've done the first boot. I got that welcome screen. Oh, I know. I remember what I saw. It was actually in a different resource. It wasn't here. It wasn't in their docs. So let me jump over. And this was in my, because I'm going to go into my pocket reading list. It was actually Seed Studio. Seed Studio had posted a, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Seed Studio did a detailed review of the Jetson Nano. So I'll post it here. I'll post it in chat. And then we'll, in the last few minutes we got, we'll try to actually mess with some of those. This is really helpful because, yeah, apparently NVIDIA's docs sort of dump you into webinars and whatnot at this point. There's some good sort of comparisons here on everything. Let's see. Wait, wasn't it here? Yeah. Okay. So you can find the following demos. CUDA samples are in here. Okay. So let's see. Home. What is it? Examples? No. User. Local. CUDA 10.0. Okay, so I want to copy the samples. Here we go. So basically I copy samples to my home folder. And once I've copied samples to my home folder, I'm going to open in the terminal. Highway lurking, listening in. Hey, .commie, no problem. We've been kind of all over the place today. I started with the Jetson Nano after show and tell, and I'm back in the Jetson Nano, which is basically just running, it looks like an Ubuntu image with some NVIDIA specific kind of stuff on it. And I'm about to try to run some demos. I just touched the heat sink is not super hot, but I'm about to actually run some of their GPU demos, and let's see if that actually changes things. So it looks like go to the directory of the sample you want to run. So let's see, what do I want to run? How about just graphics? So let's go to the graphics sample. And what's in here? Yeah. And build it with a make command. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. So let's do... the graphics. Okay, so yeah, there's a make file in each of these. So let's do marching cubes. And then make. See how long this takes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to open up another window. Because what I noticed when I looked through these samples before was that there's a lot of graphics and imaging kind of stuff, but not a ton of wasn't really anything around machine learning, it looked like. There was all a whole lot of GPU, showing off their GPUs, which I get it. I mean, here's some stuff, advanced. CPU quad tree, Bezier tessellation, function pointers, line of sight. So, I mean, my first blush in terms of actually being able to run edge machine learning or deep learning demos, I'm not really seeing it as easily on the Jetson as it was for the Google Coral. I mean, the Google Coral docs were pretty clear. I mean, the samples were there and preloaded. There was a nice little server demo and all that good stuff. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what we actually get here. So, what was the name of the executable that came in? Matching cubes, right? Yeah, marching cubes. Excuse me, marching cubes. Marching cubes. Okay. So, and this, that's what a lot of these do. So this is running at 60 frames per second. This is the CUDA marching cubes. Oh, and I can actually interact with it. So that's running on this tiny little thing. Oh, let me move it out of the way so it's not tiny, but heat sink's warming up a little bit. So that's a cool one. Let me run oh no, trash. Let's try something else. Let's run one of these Mandelbrot demos. Yeah. I mean, this is cool though for a single board computer. This is a beefy, little Linux beast that I can keep on the desktop. It's kind of neat and mess around with. And let this run real quick. Okay, it's done. Cool. All right. What do we got here? Mandelbrot. We'll run that. Or Mandelbrot. Mandelbrot set. Mandelbrot set. Okay. So again, these are a lot of GPU, because these are the graphic samples. Let's try something else. Finance. Binomial operations. Let's do that. For finance. No. Let's build the binomial operations. .com, are you losing sound from me? I think my mic is, it seems to be okay. Or is it just too loud? Are you looking for sound from the computer itself or from the Jetson? Ah, it's that highway. I don't know what y'all think about this, but I'm kind of fascinated with this. The docks are not the docks are not awesome. The samples are there, but I had to go to a non-NVidia location in order to find them. And they seem mostly just targeted around, here's how awesome our GPU is. Which is, I totally get. Like NVIDIA is in this business because they do amazing stuff with graphics processing. So let's run the binomial. Okay. Nothing visual on that one. Oh, there we go. Monte Carlo multi-GPU. I should have done that one to begin with. All right. I'm going to do like a Monte Carlo simulation. That's kind of cool. See what else is around. Could run here in a minute. Quasi-random generator. Simulations. Particles and smoke particles. Let's do that one next. That one would be those could be kind of interesting. Merge sort. Merge sort. That's an interesting. Okay, so there's where we're getting into some of the sort of the baseline algorithms for machine learning. Still want to we'll do the smoke animations first. Okay. What's my... Did it work? There we go. problem here, I mean, I can look at these things and say, hey, that's pretty cool, but I don't, I don't know that I don't have like an immediate sense for if these things are great or not. I'm going to assume that they're great. Oops. Oops. CD. Okay. So let's go into simulations and let's do smoke particles. And it'll be interesting to poke around into some of the source code. I'm sure that it's way more complex than I can handle. Hey, the Michael Jolly rated my stream with 9 viewers. Awesome. Good to see y'all. Hey, the Michael Jolly. Hope you're doing great. Having a good day. I hope that you all had an amazing stream. What is up? I have missed being on your stream the last couple of days. It has been, it's been a busy heads down kind of week for me, but it's great to see y'all. Hey, Rambling Geek, CMJ, Chris Jones, Ancient Coder, good to see y'all. Hope that y'all had fun on your stream today. What'd y'all do? What'd you work on? I'm wrapping up the stream today, messing with CMJ, Chris Jones. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. The whole fam is here. That's right. And we're about to raid into Mr. Robert Tables, or Bobby Tables himself, here in a little bit. Thank you for that, .commie. We actually worked on the Lightbot, the wall of lights today. Got the fire command working on cheers, which is pretty awesome. And now actually what I'm doing to wrap up the stream is I'm messing with this little beast right here, this Jetson, this NVidia Jetson Nano, which is a single board computer for running GPU intensive kind of fun stuff. So we were exploring the demos for that. I was just about to run a smoke particles demo on here, but what you're seeing on my screen is actually this single board computer running through my capture card that's running Ubuntu. It's running an NVIDIA specific distribution of Ubuntu, which is kind of crazy. So testing an Angular app that runs on a Raspberry Pi for a client. That's awesome. An Angular app that runs on a Raspberry Pi. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to go check out the VOD for that. I think that'd be really interesting. So we've run a couple of demos on here, and right now I'm actually just waiting for this running make files. Basically, we're compiling C++ code and waiting for make to finish. And in a container, get out. That's awesome. That's cool. Well, that sounds like fun. I look forward to being back to my regular ability to hang out on streams next week. I have been during not streaming times, I've been kind of heads down on some customer projects and things like that. And deployed via Azure IoT Hub. Oh my gosh. This one sounds like can't miss. I should have totally gotten in on the VOD. Well, I appreciate the raid and y'all coming and hanging out for the last couple of minutes. I know that nothing has happened since y'all come in because I'm waiting for make. So apparently this NVIDIA Jetson Nano has a whole lot of GPUs, but make still takes forever. So for all the progress that we've made with multi-core processors in the world of computing, running make files is still a ridiculous slog. I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same. All right, so now I can run the smoke particles demo. Oh no, what happened? Did that that may have actually just crashed my Jetson. That's kind of a cool phrase. I want to be able to say time and again. Oh, that demo killed it. That's hilarious. One of the demos that NVIDIA shipped with this thing. The heatsink is not, it's not going crazy. I don't know if y'all caught that demo for like one hot second, but like this is one of NVIDIA's like stock demos that's in here, and I totally think that just, it doesn't feel like it overheated, but it totally crashed the thing. And here's what's not to do. Yeah, here's what not to do. That's right. Hey, you know, that's what this public service that we provide on this stream is breaking everybody's stuff. I break my own stuff really, really well, so why not share the love and break other people's stuff as well? I'm going to try this one more time because we got a few minutes left, and then we'll raid into Mr. Robert Tables. All right, that actually came back up pretty quick, even though I've already seen this initial setup screen, so don't run that again. All right. Samples. We were in simulations. Five simulations, smoke particles, yep. And running smoke. If it crashes it again. All right, as Samuel L. Jackson said in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. I mean, how underwhelming is that? Did it not even run? I just ran it 3 times, so it's absolutely going to crash this thing. All right, fine. I'll show y'all a different demo. For those of y'all that came into Michael Jolly's channel, it's actually, or from his raid, let's try something else, because I've actually run a few of these other ones. So, a few of these graphics ones. Which graphic? Excuse me. Oh, what is this? I don't know. Remind me later. Did I do bindless texture here already? No, I didn't. Nice simple texture 3D. I'm looking for an executable. Let's do a bindless texture one. Why not? So every one of these samples has a make file. You run the make file, you wait an indeterminate amount of time. Hopefully it only gives you warnings. If nothing, that's kind of funny. Yeah, we had a good time today. So the 3 minutes we have left, I'm going to run this one real quick, and then we're going to raid into Mr. Robert Tables and say hello to him. See what kind of fun stuff he is doing. But let's actually try to run this. Find this texture. Yeah, there we go. So press plus and minus to change the LOD level. So you see this is running at 60 frames per second. Press R to randomize the visual atlas. Oh, that's cool. So like I mentioned before, for those of y'all that just came on, I mean, we're just... Oh wait, let me actually put it somewhere else on the screen. A lot of these demos seem to be focused on just running GPU intensive kind of stuff to show off how good the NVIDIA GPUs are, which is totally fine. Like, I totally get it. It works. But there's not really anything specific in the machine learning that I've found yet in the samples. So here's another one, just running a Mandelbrot set. And you can navigate around in here to actually, can you zoom in? I wonder if you can zoom in. Oh yeah, you can zoom in as well. Oh, so this is kind of cool. When I tried this, all right, zooming out doesn't work, but I zoomed in for a little bit. So fun stuff. That's actually the Jetson Nano. I think we'll do more with this. Like I've mentioned before, my whole goal in messing with this and also messing with the Google Coral dev board was to get to a place where we could actually start building some edge machine learning and deep learning demos alongside of some of these particle devices that do kind of fun stuff. So James would love to see some ML streams. Me too. We'll do it. Let's learn it together. I mean, I'm a noob at a lot of this machine learning, deep learning stuff, but I think streaming it would be the best way for me to learn. Y'all can help me learn a few things as well, which actually would be kind of fun. So let's review what we did today. We did actually get to detecting cheers. That was sort of the biggest thing that we did. And I didn't do anything on the firmware side, but that's okay because it was a lot of fun. We did check out the NVIDIA Jetson Nano, mess with the demos. I'll post all this stuff in the stream notes and share it via Twitter so that y'all can check it out later. But it is the top of the hour, so that is about it for me. I'm going to raid over into Mr. Robert Tables and appreciate y'all hanging out today, coming in. Thank you to Michael Jolly for the raid. James, thanks so much for the bits. That's so great. I appreciate that cheer. And you triggered fire on the bot again. Oh, that's awesome, James. That's a perfect way to end the stream. So wonderful. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your project, James, and all the stuff you're working on. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.